How's it going? Today I'm talking about, can I skip a run if I'm still sore? This week I just have a slew of questions that keep coming up because they are so common with the crowd that I attract in just following me on Instagram, following this podcast. Thank you so much, as always, and in my Stronger, Faster Finisher group. So I keep seeing this question come up as well as the one that I just did on Tuesday. I keep seeing this question come up as well. So I wanted to address it because there is a right and a wrong way to do it, and I don't want you to do it the wrong way. So I saw the question, or I got the question. I did leg day yesterday, and today I'm definitely sore to the point where it's harder to move around. Can I skip a run? Ultimately, it depends. Right? Of course, Dr. Allie says it depends. Shocker. But it really does. So I never want somebody to go and do a run that will make them feel worse. But sometimes going for a run will actually make you feel better. So for somebody who just did leg day, maybe doing a run, going on a run will make them feel worse. Maybe it will make them feel better. So this first part is runner specific. Do you tend to feel better when you move around, or do you tend to get worse when you move around when you feel like this? That would be my first question. Would it make you feel better, or would it make you feel worse? Or would maybe some movement help, but too much movement wouldn't? So typically, what I see when somebody in this instance, and I will say, I don't have any background information on this person. This is not one of my current clients. This was just a question that came to me. I know no background of this runner. So I don't know, have they never done strengthening before? Is this their first time doing leg day, any kind of strength exercise? Or are they seasoned? Are they doing a new workout that their body just needs to adjust to? Is this a common practice? Does this happen where every time you do leg day, you are sore for days and have to skip a run? So when we're talking about this, you need to know your body, and you may not know your body yet. And so it may be a little bit of trial and error, but I tend to see somebody who's never done a strength workout before or is doing a new strength workout, some movement will help. Too much movement will make you feel worse. So maybe you should skip the run, go for a walk instead. If you're not sure, dress like you're going for the run, shoes and all. Start off walking, do your normal 10-minute warm up, maybe 20-minute warm up, this time walking, and see how your legs feel. If they're feeling better and they feel like you can run, go ahead and run. If they're feeling better but still don't feel like you should run, well, don't run. If they're feeling worse, well, go ahead and you can stop. You did something, 10 to 20 minutes. You tried it out. Because sometimes it does take some trial and error to figure out what your body wants. And if you're brand new to strength training, you're going to be sore. That is natural. If you're new to strength training or it's a completely new routine, you're going to be sore, which is why I recommend that you start new strength exercises or a new program, really, in the off season of training. So then if you have to skip a run because you're so sore, it's okay. It's not going to make or break your training plan. Now, even as I've said that, no, missing one run is not going to make or break anybody's training plan. But if you're new to strength training and it happens over and over and over again where you're feeling so sore that you feel like you need to keep skipping runs, then that's where it does make or break it. So that's why I have that 5 phases of a running journey where you are in your build phase, you're building strength and speed. This is the time to focus on, if you think strength training will help you finish your race better, or if you know that that's what you need, that's the time to build strength. Or if you want to get faster, that's the time to work on getting faster. And sometimes building strength and speed go hand in hand, because having stronger muscles and, just being able to produce more power with lifting heavier things can give you more speed. And that's why those are in the build phase, which are in the off season when you aren't training for a race. That is the ideal time to start working on those things. Not when you're a month out from the Dopey Challenge, as an example. If you're just adding strength exercises now with the Dopey Challenge a month away, this is not the time. So you want to make sure that you're planning your schedule, planning out your training appropriately with where you're at in the training plan. So that's why I recommend doing the new strength exercises or really heavy strength exercises in that build phase. If you're brand new to strength exercises, you are going to be sore. You're going to be sore for like 2 weeks, and that's okay. And then when you get used to doing the movements, your body's like, okay, we don't need to freak out here. This is old hat. We know what's going on. We're acclimating and adjusting, and we can recover because we know what's happening. Our body is getting used to doing the exercises. And this is also why, just like with running, no more than the 10% rule each week, with strength training, you also don't go too heavy too quickly. I have my Stronger, Faster, Finisher clients do strength testing so they know their exact numbers, not only for the speed and pace, I've talked about that a lot, but also for strength exercises. They know exactly how much they can lift in that movement, and then they make their training plan, their lifting plan based on that. So whether it be a light day, a medium day, or a heavy day, whether they're just doing body weight exercises or they're lifting dumbbells using machines, they know for themselves what they're doing and how much they're doing based on their history. And then the chances of them being too sore regularly to interrupt their training plan is very slim. It's unlikely to happen. Of course, it can happen. There are different aspects that can change things as we're going through it, but the chances are slim. And so then we are less likely to run into the problem that this person who had the question has of, I'm too sore, can I skip the run? So you can skip the run, but think about, will that make you feel better, or will some movement actually help you? Maybe you do need to skip the run, but do a walk instead, or go ride your bike instead. It won't make or break your training if you skip that run. If you do it every week, that will make or break your training, because you need to build cardiovascular endurance, and you can't do that if you're always so sore from your strength workout that you can't do the cardiovascular activity like running to train for a running race. So you do need to do some exercise. Sometimes this takes a lot of planning. I had somebody talk to me, oh gosh, maybe 2 months ago, a current client in Stronger, Faster, Finisher for the Dopey Challenge. She wants to do it 2027. So this was 12, 14 months ahead of when the Dopey 2027 Challenge is happening. She wanted to know if it was realistic for her. And that was great insight for her to start planning so far in advance. That is ideal, because now she can take that information, formulate a plan in the next 14 months. At the time we had this conversation, now it's not 14 months, but planning it out, because it will be 6 months of Dopey training. But what are we doing for the 6 months or the 7 months or the 8 months before that to make the Dopey race be what she wants? And so sometimes to plan it out so that you make sure that you aren't sore when you go to run after doing leg day, you need to plan it out a couple of weeks or months in advance. And maybe you do or do not know how to do that, and that's okay. Find somebody who does know how to do that, whether it be a friend, family member, spouse, partner, you name it, or a coach. this is what I do for my clients. I can think of the schedule, I can think of the strategy around it and the logistics, and kind of my brain already throws it on the paper. So I can already look at or write down. I usually have to see something. So especially if you're on a call with me in Stronger Faster Finisher or one-on-one call, you might see me like look off to the side and like doing something. I am a very visual person. I remember things when I hear it and repeat it, and I can like cognitively think about something when I'm seeing it. So like a math problem, I have to write it out. Like miles, when I'm doing how long it will take somebody to finish a race, I actually have to write out like the equation, not just the numbers, to make sure like my brain is thinking about it properly, accurately. So when I'm talking to somebody about their training plan, and I ask this in a questionnaire ahead of time, I need to see it written out. I can't just hear it. I have to, even if you're saying it to me, I need to type it out or handwrite it out to see it. I actually did that with a client today on our one-on-one call. She has a very unique work schedule, and so it changes every 6 weeks. So this is one of the things that we do together in my one-on-one calls is really dive in on these very unique work schedules, life schedules, to make it work for you, for strategy, to make sure that you can actually train. And so my brain very well like composed and can do that. I've done it for years. I just have to see it written out first. But maybe your brain can't do that, and that's okay. You do need to find somebody who can help you organize those thoughts and the training plan to make it so that you can consistently train. I don't want you being sore for days and days and days after a strength workout, because you don't have to be. You don't even need to be sore like for a couple hours after that strength workout for it to have been a good workout. There are multiple ways to have a good workout. One of my favorite ways is to leave 2 in the tank, meaning you only can do 2 more reps, 2 reps in reserve to finish out the workout. Like you can't do any more. And if you could do more than that, then you up the weight. That doesn't always make you sore. And that's okay. It doesn't mean it wasn't a good workout. I've had clients in the past who need that sore feeling, which I personally don't understand. I hate the sore feeling, and I've worked really hard to find ways to build strength without getting that soreness all of the time. Now, of course, it's going to happen some of the time, but I hate that feeling the day after a heavy, hard workout, being sore for days and days and days. That makes me never want to do that strength workout again. Some people love that. That is not me. But to have a good workout, you don't necessarily have to have all of that soreness. Which actually leads me to another good point. Going back to the original question, like I'm so sore, I would also be interested to see what this person's recovery routine is. Are they doing any stretches after? Are they warming up before? Are they fueling properly? Are they taking a hot Epsom salt bath? Or maybe they like ice baths instead. You know me, Olaf likes warm hugs, Dr. Ali likes warm baths. Give me a hot Epsom salt bath and keep me away from the cold. But if you like ice, more power to you. Are you using a foam roller? Are you getting massages regularly? Are you using the squeezy boots, the pneumatic compression devices? Are you using a massage gun, foam rolling, things like that to help recover and bounce back faster without being so sore? Because maybe that's all that person needs to do in order to be able to run the next day and not even have this question. But you know me, we can't go back. We can't go backward. We can only move forward. So we take that information, put it in our back pocket, use it to answer the question and provide a plan. But if you're sore all of the time after strength workouts, we need to look at a few things. The actual strength workout you're doing, is it different all of the time? That's not going to make you any progress. It needs to be the same or similar and progressively increasing weight over time. But the actual strength exercises should be pretty boring and repetitive for like 10 or 12 weeks, so 8 to 12 weeks or so, to make some progress. I know a lot of people will change their routine because they need it to be interesting, or they just find a new workout to follow on YouTube. I really advise against that because you won't have as much progress. You won't see as much progress with that. You won't have the gains that you're looking for while your body is just constantly doing something differently. So, what kind of workouts are you doing? We need to look at that, the actual workouts you're doing, how heavy you're lifting, how heavy have you been lifting in the past couple of days, weeks, to progressively increase it? And then what are you doing recovery wise as well? Because you don't have to be so sore that you feel like you can't do anything.